Hey viewers, welcome back to this YouTube channel, and it's Hamza Meet. My today's video is related with the Pakistan Studies P2, that is Geography, and I'm going to continue from the same chapter, that is the Topography of Pakistan. I've already completed with the previous topic, certainly that was mainly related with the certain regions of Pakistan, but there are few which are left related with the topography of Pakistan that I'm going to complete in this video. So before we start, let's see that what our topic is. So there you go viewers, here we have the topic right there on the screen, that is the Balochistan Plateau, and along with it we have the Potwar Plateau and Salt Range. So we are going to discuss these two related with the economy and the lifestyle of the people living over there in these regions. So let's start from the very first point. We have over here is the Balochistan Plateau. Now here if you could see that this red portion over here, this portion is mainly the area of Balochistan Plateau. So it means that we are going to discuss this one over here. So let me continue from the very first point. We have the very first one over here as introduction. Let's see that what introduction that we have over here regarding the Balochistan Plateau. Number one, we have rainfall, and the second one we have is the cool summers, that is related with the altitude areas. Now I have mentioned these 2 points which is mainly related with the climate of that area. When we talk about the climate of any area, the 2 things are mainly comes in our mind. Number one is related with the rainfall, and the second one we have over here is related with the temperature. So these are the 2 things that we need to address. Now when we talk about the Balochistan Plateau, the area is having a low rainfall, that is why this area is mostly dry. When we move mainly towards the southern part of Pakistan, the rainfall is less just because we are moving more closer to equator. Number 2, they have cool summers only where we have the altitude area. So altitude is something which is related with the height. So wherever you have a highland area, only those areas have cool summers. Otherwise, the remaining areas mostly they have the high temperature. Moving next, we have the water resources. That is the second thing we are going to discuss about the Balochistan Plateau. So let's see that what point we have over here. Number one we have is the scarcity of the water related with both drinking and irrigation, means to provide irrigation to the agriculture over there. So when we talk about the scarcity over here, scarcity means the shortage of water. So as I said, just because it has a low rainfall, that is why in this area the water is scarce, means less for both purposes. One is drinking and even for agriculture when you need to provide any kind of irrigation over there. So let's see what other things we have. The next one we have is the dependent on small water schemes. So when just because we are talking about the rainfall which is low, so that is why this area is mainly dependent on certain small water schemes. Now what those small water schemes are, let's see. Number one we have over here is carres. Now when we talk about carres, this is the picture that we have over here related with carres. And if we talk about the definition of carres, so carres is something which is called as underground water channel. Now these are the one which is called as underground water channel. So when you have any underground water over there in some areas, they mainly dig up that area and take out the water and utilize it. That is one small water scheme on which they are mainly dependent. Number 2 are the flood diversions. So whenever the flood comes, either it is coming just because of a little heavy rainfall over there, or mainly just because of the melting of glaciers, just because we know that there are certain highlands over there in Balochistan as well. So when the snow mainly melt over there, it also create or become the cause of a flood. So when the flood comes, they divert those floods and provide irrigation to certain areas of Balochistan. That is the second thing. Number 3, the tube wells. Now this is again which is something interlinked with the underground water. Why? Because when we plant tube wells, so tube wells are the one through which we mainly utilize the underground water. So when we talk about carrés and tube wells, these both are mainly interlinked with the underground water. And underground water is mainly linked with the rainfall or the floods, because obviously the underground channel would get fill up when there will be a heavy rainfall, a flood, or just because of the melting glaciers, or just because of the monsoon or any other reasons. So whenever there will be seepage of water, only then the underground water level would rise. So just because they have a low rainfall, they are mainly dependent upon the underground water. Moving towards the next point we have is the transport and the communication system of the Balochistan Plateau. So let's see that what point we have over here. Let me clear that. Okay. Next we have is the absence of the link routes. Now when we talk about Balochistan, so Balochistan is mainly a rugged landscape. This is something which is the topography of the Balochistan. This area is mainly having the irregular kind of surface, rugged landscape, and we also use one more word over here related with the Balochistan area, that is the remote areas. Remote areas are those areas where we do not have the straight access. So just because these areas are rugged or the remote areas, that is why they have the absence of the routes. Now they used a word over here, link routes. Why? Because link roads means the connectivity among the cities in Balochistan. There is very less kind of a connectivity of certain areas or less linked roads just because of the rugged landscape or the topography of that area. Next we have is the limited railways. Just because we have the absence of the link road because of these two reasons, as it is a remote area, mainly a rugged landscape, that is why they have a limited kind of railways as well. Because in certain areas it is very much difficult to develop roads or to build up the railways as well. So that is why they are limited. The last point we have over here is the picture that we have right now on the screen, that is Makran Coast Highway. Now this is something which comes into the development portion of Balochistan Plateau, that is somehow being constructed recently, and this area is the one which mainly connects Karachi with Gwadar. This road that we have on the screen right now, that is called as Makran Coast Highway. When we talk about the coastal area of Pakistan, there are two areas. One is the Balochistan area, which is called as the Makran Coast, and the other is called as Sindh Coast. Right now I'm talking about the Makran Coast. If you want to know from the map point of view, so this is how it looks like when we talk about the map of Pakistan. This is the southern portion. So I'm talking about this portion over here, that is the portion of Makran Coast. So here it has a connectivity of Karachi area with the area of Gwadar, which is mainly somehow connected, and that is the only example we have related with the transport and communication. Moving towards the next point, let's see that what other points that we have over here. Next we have is the mineral resources of the Balochistan Plateau. Number one, rich in minerals. Yes, Balochistan Plateau is very much rich in minerals, but there's another point over here, that is vast untapped resources. Untapped resources means that those resources which are not yet extracted or not exploited. So there are certain reasons obviously behind that why the resources are still not being taken out. It might be just because of the unskilled labor, it might be just because of the weak economy, or you could say that these areas are the remote areas, rugged landscapes, so less access, less connectivity. These are the certain reasons behind the untapped resources. Other few points we have over here is the crude oil and natural gas. Now these are few resources which are extracted over there from the Balochistan Plateau. So when we talk about the oil and the gas, now one thing that I would want to link up over here, that is related with the PMDC. So that is being stand for Pakistan Mineral Development Corporation. They were the one who extracted oil from one place of Balochistan, and that place was mainly called as Sui in Balochistan. So when they were extracting oil, fortunately they were able to extract gas from there as well. So in this point we could see that 46% of the country's gas supply is mainly from the place of Sui. So this is somehow can be the economic potential of the Balochistan Plateau. Moving towards the next one we have over here is the agriculture of that area. When we talk about the agriculture, don't forget that we are talking about the irrigation as well. I've already explained in the previous point that the area have a very low rainfall. So keep that in mind. Number one, we have the 67% of the population of that area is mainly engaged in the crop farming, and the rest of the people they are also engaged with other professions. We'll continue with that as well. Next we have is the fruit production, means the surplus, means profit. When we talk about surplus, this is something which is related with the profit. So 75% of the profit that is being gained by the Balochistan Plateau is with the help of the fruit production. Next we have is the Karachi area, which is the largest market over there. We use the word market because this is something where you used to sell the product. So Karachi is something which is a market. Mainly Karachi is an industrial country as well, in an industrial city as well. But this area is also a commercial area. So most of the product are being sold out over there in the market of Karachi because of the more population and more consumers over there. Next we have is the export. When we talk about the export of the fruit over there in the Balochistan, so there are certain fruits which has been exported: apple, grapes, apricots, melons, pomegranate. These are the certain kind of fruits which has been exported to the Gulf states. So that is again something which is being related with the economy of the Balochistan. Last point we have over here is the vegetable seeds. Now these are the kind of things which is mainly found in Balochistan in cold winters and dry summers. Both they have different kind of varieties. When we have a cold winters, the seeds are different, and when we talk about the dry summers, the seedling of the vegetation is totally different over there in the Balochistan Plateau. Moving towards the further points of the Balochistan Plateau, let's see that what else we have over here. The next one we have over here is the livestock of Balochistan Plateau. When we talk about the livestock, it is something which is related with the rearing of animals. So obviously I'm going to discuss about the two things once again, the lifestyle and the economy. So when we talk about the lifestyle over there in the Balochistan Plateau is mainly the nomadic livestock farming, means the nomadic lifestyle. When we talk about the nomadic lifestyle, I've told you about that. This is something which is related with the search of food and water, means the people they used to take their animals in search of food and water, and they do not have any permanent kind of settlements, but yet these people are the one which are somehow providing some kind of an output as well, which is being called as the livestock products. So it could be milk, it could be ghee, it could be butter. So these all are somehow being called as the output of these products that has been coming from the livestock. So these outputs are certainly being exported, and this portion is somehow related with the economy of the Balochistan Plateau. This one we have over here related with the nomadic one, that is related with the lifestyle, and the second point that I have discussed over here, that is related with the economy of that area. Moving further, we have fishing. That is the next point. When we talk about fishing area, the two things that we have over here is the subsistence fishing and commercial fishing. The picture that we have right now on the screen is the example of subsistence. When we talk about subsistence, this is something which is being done for their own self, means that a fisherman usually catches the fishes for his own family. When we talk about the commercial fishing, this is something which is being done for another purpose, that is mainly is the selling purpose, and this commercial fishing is mainly done by the ships and boats and being called as marine fishing. So this is something which is being done for the selling purpose. So there are two examples right now that we have over here. Moving further, we have is the certain areas of those fishing, means the fishing ports I'm talking about. Here we have mentioned three. For example, the three main fishing ports of Pakistan that was in Balochistan Plateau. Number one is Gwadar. Now this is the location of Gwadar. Let me take another pointer, the better color, so that you people are able to watch it much easier. Now this is the position of Gwadar, that is Pasni, and that is Ormara. Now these are the three main fishing ports of Balochistan Plateau from where the fishing is being done or catchment is already there. Moving further, we have over here is the future prospects of the Balochistan Plateau, means what can be done to enhance or to improve the economy of this region. Number one, we have the extraction of minerals. When we talk about the extraction of minerals, as we have seen previously, there are certain vast untapped resources. So if the government give more priority towards the extraction of minerals, so which means that the more extraction would definitely lead you towards further export. So when you have more export, eventually you would move towards more economy, that is the foreign exchange of the country. So this is somehow the economy can enhance. Next one we have over here is the modernization in the livestock, means when we talk about the livestock products, so if the better machinery or the modern ways are used, then the improvement can come in the quality and the quantity of the livestock product, and you can give or provide a better thing to the other countries as an export. Next one we have over here is the Gwadar port. When we talk about this one point that usually come in our mind is the CPAC. This is something which is a kind of connectivity of our trade with directly to the other country, that is China, through the Karakoram highway. So obviously this is one more economic point of view over here. Next, the last one we have over here is the development of fishing industry. How we can do that development? We need to improve our marine fishing, because we are going with the marine fishing less. Mainly our ways of catchment of the fishes are orthodox. So if we want to improve the industry of fishing, we need to do more marine fishing to bring more skilled labor over there, which can provide us with more output. So this is something that we have related with the future prospect of the Balochistan Plateau. This is it with the Balochistan Plateau. Let's move towards the next topic, that is the Potwar Plateau. Before I start the introduction, let me show you that what area I'm talking about. As you could see, that is one map over here. So this is the portion I'm exactly talking about, the Potwar Basin, and the south of which we have the Salt Range as well. So these are the two things that I'm going to discuss in the introduction of both. Number one we have over here is the south of Islamabad, Indus and Jhelum, means the location of the Potwar Basin or the Potwar Plateau is mainly in the south of Islamabad, and that is between the river Indus and Jhelum. So if you see that in the map, this area is basically the river Indus and that is the river Jhelum. So that is in between the Indus and Jhelum. This area is the Potwar Plateau. Next we have is the height of that area. The Potwar Plateau is mainly from 300 to 600 meter high. Next one, the Kalachitta range. Here you could see that in the map, the Kalachitta range, that is the location of it, which is mainly 1000 meter high. That is also situated in the Potwar Plateau. Next one, the largest part of this plateau is being eroded by water. So this is something we are talking about related with the water erosion, which certainly is the one became the reason of certain features which has been going on over there. Next we have is the Swan River, obviously one of the dominant feature over there in the Potwar Plateau. Now this is something which is related to the agriculture, because the agriculture of the Potwar Plateau is getting the irrigation from the Swan River. So that is a major source of irrigation in the Potwar Plateau for agriculture. Next we have is the last point of the Potwar Plateau, that is rich in mineral. Same like in Balochistan Plateau, obviously we have the minerals over here as well, that is rock, gypsum, the limestone, coal and oil. So these are the minerals that are found. Moving towards the next one we have is the salt range. As I've discussed in the previous point, this is the portion that I'm talking about, the salt range, which is in the south of the Potwar Plateau. First point we have over here is salt mines. It's a small town over here named as Kyoda, that is mainly 160 kilometers away from Islamabad, where these mines are, salt mines are situated. The next one is the height of this area, means the salt mine is from 750 to 900 meter. The highest peak in that area is the Skaser Peak, that is I'm talking about, the highest range in the salt range called as Skaser Peak. Then we have the ranges over there certainly being eroded by the river, same like that, which has been happening over there in the Potwar Plateau. The next one we have is the point which is interlinked with the tourism. When we people travel from Lahore to Islamabad, obviously there is one point that comes in between. If any of you have traveled from there to on the motorway or from the GT route, one area that comes in between is the Color Khar. So this is something which is also a lake, and Khabe Ki Lake. These two areas are somehow very much famous regarding the tourism point of view. And the next one we have is, yes, this point is also coming over here as well, the rich minerals. That salt range is also somehow very much rich in minerals. Moving towards the last point of our topic, that is both Potwar Plateau and Salt Range. But this time I'm not going to discuss about the introduction. This time I'm going to discuss about the economic activity and the lifestyle that is in both Potwar Plateau and Salt Range, because they are somehow situated near to each other. Number one we have over here is this area is mainly rich in non-metallic minerals. Now these non-metallic minerals are mainly the source of the raw material for the industries. Means these are the one through which we provide the raw material to the certain industries which are mainly based with the mining activity. We extract those non-metallic minerals and provide the raw material to the industries. That is one thing. Secondly, the oil and gas fields, mainly the very famous one, Attak Oil Refinery, which is one which is being used to refine the oil over there, and obviously there are certain gas fields over there as well. Next we have is that the farming of that area is mainly dependent on the rainfall. Now this point is very much important. Barani lands. Usually a 2-mark question comes in the paper regarding the Barani land, that what are Barani lands. So whenever you heard about this word Barani land, always mention that these areas are those areas which are mainly dependent on rainfall. So these areas are mainly dependent on rainfall because canal irrigation is not possible there. So whenever the rainfall is there, only then they will be able to do the agriculture over there, means irrigation. Next we have is canal irrigation. As I said that this is why they are mainly dependent on the rainfall, because the canal irrigation is not possible over there. Accessible by road, rail and air. Apart from the Balochistan Plateau, which is somehow a remote area, when we talk about the Potwar Plateau is something which is a flatland surface on a mountain. So this is somehow is accessible by the road, rail and air. As we have seen the example of Color Kahar, that is obviously being interlinked with the road when we move from Lahore to Islamabad. So that is one example. Yes, there is rail availability and also the air route as well. Last one we have over here is that this area is mainly high in population density. The major areas, the populated areas are Islamabad, Chakwar district, Jhelum and Rawalpindi, unlike Balochistan Plateau, which is mainly not very much densely populated as compared to Potwar and Salt Range. So this is it. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel or to like the video. If you think that this video was useful, please kindly mention in the comment box, give your reviews, and please keep watching. Until then, until the next video, we'll meet again. Inshallah. Khuda Hafiz.